We are live. No. We got to modify it tonight. Turn it up a little bit. Not all the video quality that you expect, but we're here. It's Thursday night. We're live from Daytona Beach, believe it or not. It's another episode of Gun News Weekly. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We've got some friends joining us from, well, they're all in Daytona, but they're all over. Joe from 13C is here. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, Kevin, guys?
Good to see you, man. Casey's in the house. What's up, Casey?
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? How's everybody?
It's good to hear you. Once again, the Googler's here. You can't see him, but he's here, and he's actually got an earpiece in. That's his wrist. He does exist, and actually a pretty cool guy. We're getting to know him a little bit better today.
Absolutely.
And Ross is here as well, as always.
Live in the house tonight.
So, basically, we've got a pretty basic agenda tonight. Two things to talk about, but both of them are lengthy and exhaustive, I guess you could say. First, we're going to talk about, obviously, the gun story of the day, which is what's going on as a result of the Las Vegas shooting. We're also going to talk about the Big 3 East media event. In the meantime, if you're on your computer and you're at home, check out hashtag Big 3 East, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You'll see some content that's already starting to come out from a lot of the writers and YouTubers and different media folks that are here. A lot of information, huge list of companies to talk to you about and give you a little bit of insight of some of the product. I've even got some stuff in hand here today, including the Peacemaker. Peacekeeper? Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
Can you Google that for me and find out? It's MTR Custom Leather. Make sure you check it out. But this has been something that we found, and I'll show you what it's all about a little bit later in the show.
So you grabbed one of those that I wasn't able to actually show one during the interview with Stephanie. All right.
I was graced with one, but it is what it is.
No, that's all right. I'm just gonna have to run stock footage of it.
There you go. I'll give you. Hey, you're more than welcome to use it tomorrow. Just don't hit me.
Cool tool. Definitely check out MTR Custom.
They did a good job with that.
It's the Peacemaker.
Lord of War Firearms is in the house. He's one of the guys that's joined us from Big 3, and I see his graphic. Give us a shout out if you can.
I don't know if I'm too ugly to be on TV this late, man.
Oh, right on. Too much TV. There he is. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Justin?
What's up, guys?
It's good to see you. And jump in at any time. Kind of raise your hand. It's hard for us to hear. The speaker's a little low. But once again, we'll make it happen. Okay. So to reset, one of the craziest mornings of my world in a while, Monday morning. Phones started going crazy around 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m. Eastern time with the news. And let's start with our condolences to all of the victims, all the families that are dealing with this, all the first responders that are dealing with everything that they saw and had to deal with, and give a huge shout out to all of those people that raised up to the occasion. And quite frankly, implemented some of the things that we've talked about on this show so many times when it comes to basic medical treatment, knowing how to treat an emergency situation. Our hearts are with it, this whole thing, as everybody is. I'm sure everyone has had all of those thoughts. This is one of those events that almost anyone can say, I've been to a music festival. I've been in a crowd that big.
Or you got friends that could have been there. I mean,
quite frankly, I think all of us checked on our Vegas Peach right away to make sure that everything was good to go. And again, as the news came in and the numbers kept rolling and the amount of injured and all of those stories, and now we're starting to hear, all the heartbreaking stories. We don't need to go over all the details. Everybody knows what happened at this point. But the facts that I wanted to cover, and again, discuss with all you guys in just roundtable fashion, this was more than a mass shooting. This was a straight up ambush. Again, I'm not speaking from military experience. Some of you guys might be able to. This was way more than I'm going to show up and spray and pray. There was tactical advantage that this guy had in terms of sight lines, in terms of so long to be recognized. I don't know what that's called, but it took so long to realize, hey, wait a minute. Because if you watch the crowd videos, there was a lot of people bewildered for a long time.
Absolutely.
I was shocked. It was like, I don't know what. And then all of a sudden you heard the one woman go, get down. They were talking to the daughter. You could hear. She said, there's something going on here. And all of a sudden the room burned. And then when everyone realized what was going on, she hit the fan. Everyone started to try to protect themselves or shelter. A lot of people didn't know what to do. So, but the point of the fact I wanted to bring up is this was about as ambush as you can get.
You know, I think I made the comment late last night when we were talking about this that you know, some of the best of the best die in ambushes. You know, that are physically trained, militarily trained to deal with these situations.
And on alert at the time.
Good point. And people die. You know, it happens all the time. I mean, there are some things. It's an evil world. Evil things happen in the world. You do the best you can, but you can't outlive the facts.
Right. Well, like you said, it's a tactical advantage. If you have it, you have it. You know, I mean, that's.
And this sick fuck. I mean, he spent his time, and that's what I'm going to refer to him as, the SF. He did his time.
It's not.
What do you mean?
I know it says live, but it's
refresh.
Not, I just asked them. They said no.
We can still see you guys.
Yeah. Live feed.
What's that? You see a live feed?
Yeah, I see a live feed.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Yep, my bad.
Right on. Sorry about that. We were just checking technical stuff. What's up to everybody on Facebook? Jay, Ryan, and Dan. What's going on, guys? Great to see you as always, obviously. So now, beyond, okay, this guy had planning. I think there's still so much information that we don't have.
But not only did he do the ambush, he also had his own security. I mean, he had cameras in the hallways.
Right.
Think about that. That's another layer of planning. That's a lot of planning and execution of equipment. Right?
Yeah.
Setting it all up.
Justin, look, I think.
Go ahead, bud.
So I got to ask you guys now. Some of you guys have been in the military. Some of you guys have been, avid shooters for your entire life. I got to ask. Do you honestly think there was only one gunman?
Well, that's definitely something that's not. That is one of those unknown facts right now. I think there's a lot more murmur on the internet right now about that. I personally, when I saw the first fourth floor footage with what was being called a muzzle flash, I immediately said, all the video that I look at of myself when I shoot, there is a definite, distinct difference between this round, the next round, the next round, and the next round. They might repeat, but there's sometimes you get nothing at all. Sometimes you get a big blast, and sometimes you get that looked like a strobe light fire alarm to me when I saw it.
I agree, Kev.
The audio, however, is something that, again, I'm no audio expert any more than anybody else that's looking at this thing for 5 days, 4 days.
The real telling video is the one the cab driver shot.
The cab driver shot, correct. Sitting on the one side of the building, apparently. I'd like to see an overhead of where that.
There's guns being fired from two different positions in that video. Now, whether it is the way those windows were poked out, one was on the far side, one was closer, I don't know. But those guns were distinctly in two very different positions.
Well, and the other thing is, I think that one conclusion that a lot of people are jumping to is that all of the gunshots came from the hotel. Who says that? What if there was a van set up on a street somewhere and someone was doing DC?
Yeah, there's another good video out there where
I'm going to be honest with you guys. We could sit here all night and speculate what happened.
That's fun, though.
You're right. It is fun. But the facts of the matter is that information is being withheld from us for a reason. I think it's important to note that.
Oh, here we go. He's churning. You see it?
I think
see it?
I think.
Do I need to go get my aluminum foil hat? It's in the kitchen.
You really don't? Yeah, I'm not going to go conspiracy theory. I think it's important to wait for all the facts to come in before we start speculating. But there's a reason that this information is being withheld from us.
Did you all listen to the hour and a half scanner
it seems
feed?
awfully, and I I hate to go this route on this show, but it seems odd to me that they can be sure of some things, but other things, depending upon the narrative, they won't be sure of and won't have an answer for us until after they pass gun law legislation.
Hey, Tom.
I think our role in this is not only to help those that are grieving with this thing, but is to realize that as a Second Amendment community, it is important for us to push back on unrealistic, non-constitutional gun laws that these people are going to try to push through, and make it push through because of emotion and everybody's grieving, yada yada yada. It's an easy time to get this stuff through. We all need to be aware. We all need to be on our game right now, because otherwise they're going to go with their emotions, and we're going to lose a lot of our constitutional
Here's the crazy thing.
Stand by. Let me moderate here. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. Actually, I got Gun Channels here who wants to say something here.
Oh, he's the one yapping in the background.
What the hell up? Listen, so the whole time, have you guys really noticed the flip towards the NRA right now? Like, the shit is real, and especially with the people that just flipped towards them recently, they're just like, I just saw a couple things on IG right now where a lot of people that were backing the NRA that you never thought would back the NRA are now flipping on them again. It's real quick and it's real soon, and the NRA is going to have a real problem.
Yeah, they've got a full-blown mutiny on their hands, and I'm not surprised. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people always ask me, oh, well, why do you renew your NRA membership every year? Why don't you, it's so much cheaper to get a life membership. And I said, no, it's not about the money. It's about them earning my membership every single year. Now, I screwed up here recently just before the Trump election, and I actually wound up doing a 5-year membership just because. But, hey, it's ridiculous to me to get a life membership in an organization that has screwed us over and stabbed us in the back so many times in the past, and now here they are doing it again. That's why you will never see me with an NRA life membership unless all these FUDs are out of the directorship and out of the leadership positions, and we get some actual people in there who understand the true, real meaning of the Second Amendment.
Amen.
Look, this should be a no compromise situation. There is no law that you can enact that's going to put a more stringent not reward. What am I looking for? Help me out. More stringent consequence on your actions than murder. Murder has not been revoked as an illegal action. And when you murder people, I don't think there's another law that can be made anywhere that is going to provide more reinforcement to somebody who's willing to go out and commit murder.
Well, I think the knee-jerk reaction has been, we've had these series of events. This one is so atrocious, we have to do something, right?
Yeah.
We're going to get to what's been proposed, because there's a couple, again, facts that we kind of need to talk about here, which is up next. The use and the claimant, again, while I haven't seen one other listing of what kind of weapon there was, I haven't seen anything to give me a whole list. We found 12 bump fire stocks. Now, my opinion on bump fire stocks has been stated on this show before. I believe it's garbage. I believe it's a gimmick. I've had real world operators agree with me and have conversations about this. Do you have the right to do it? If you want to waste your ammo and you want to try to figure out how to go against all of your training that tells you pull that weapon in tight against you, okay, you have the right.
Knock yourself out.
At the same time, are they going to go after it and ban it? And am I ever going to give a shit? Not if that's the only thing they get. However, if you read what's been proposed already, that also is going to include anything that will help a gun perform better than it does when you buy it. Specifically, what are they called, triggers?
Binary.
The binary triggers. Okay. Let me go back to the bump fire stock before we get into binary triggers. So to anyone that's watching for the first time or really doesn't understand what a bump fire stock is, it is a stock that goes onto the back of the gun. This is a demo trigger. We'll talk about LaRue Tactical at Big 3, but this is something really cool that I can use right now. It's the stock goes on. It has this thing that covers up part of the trigger, and with manipulation of the trigger and the stock as you push forward and the gun goes off and giving you the recoil of the gun, that stock has a little action, right? You guys have all done this.
You're just riding that trigger.
You're riding the trigger, and it's supposed to. Okay, now I think it's again. I had mad trouble trying to figure that thing out. I can't do it. I can't do it. I tried it. I got it to like auto burst like 3 rounds one time. Otherwise, I looked at the guy and I said, "This is not for me."
Right.
I would much rather have a great 2-stage that I know where that break point is. And again, at all the shooting we did today, from target to target at 100 yards, 50 yards, whatever we were doing, most of us were using regular triggers. We didn't need that bump fire stock. I don't want everyone to think that every gun guy has a cachet of bump fire stocks.
Yeah.
I don't know one.
I don't know.
And at the price they are today, by the way, let's call out the idiots of the
Oh
world.
my God! I checked Unbreaker today. It's amazing.
You would have to pay me. You'd have to pay me a lot.
Hold on. Go ahead, Casey.
I said you'd have to pay me a lot of money to put one on my gun.
You have to pay me to use one.
Yeah.
We've got one for sale. Put your bid in the chat.
Right.
He's gonna give me something up for you. We'll throw a little charity about it.
2.7 mil is the current bid.
So the information that I had. Hold on. Justin, you there? Justin stepped away. Justin's also a retailer at a place called Lord of War Firearms here in Florida. And Justin, you're back. I have a question for you. We talked about today how many, I just need the number, a major vendor that you tried to see if they had bump fire stocks in. They had a major number a week ago, and then today they had 0. How many did they have a week ago?
They had 1,100 of 1 week ago, or 1,106, give or take a couple. I mean, obviously they get sold occasionally. But what I was talking about with my my distributor rep at one of the companies is that it went from maybe 100 maybe every 3 months to 1,100 overnight.
Gotcha.
That was gone.
So they were selling at a rate that was kind of just, again, a novelty rate, to be honest.
His words were it had exponential growth instantly. It went viral, basically.
Oh, it's Bluetooth.
Yeah, and all that is that doesn't indicate the market. That's just a few opportunists that are looking to dig a huge profit in the future. I don't know that the general public is necessarily saying, hey, we want these in record numbers. I think you have a couple people that are opportunists that say, hey, they're going to try to take these. I'm going to get them. They're going to shoot up. I'm going to make a fortune.
Stand by.
Maybe not. I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to work on some speaker issues here. Sorry. No. Go back to default. Is it on?
It's on there.
Hold on. We're just trying to fix a sound issue we've been dealing with today. Not built in. It's. All right. Can you still hear us?
Yep.
Okay. No worries. Thanks for trying them. Okay. So back to the bump fire thing. We saw them for $650, and then all of a sudden they're for $1,100 for one of these things. It used to retail for what? $2,000, $3,000?
Yeah, it was. It retailed at between. It really depended on what shop you were at. It would retail between, I'd say, $189 and $229 on the high side. Yeah. But what I'm doing now is with your permission, Kevin, I want to try and pull up the gun broker right now with bump fire stocks.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about it. $1,100 earlier, about an hour ago. We checked.
Because right now, the least expensive one that I am able to find right now is $699.
$699. Wow.
Again, you're an idiot if you go buy one of these things for that price.
Gimmicky.
It's crazy.
So
now, go buy yourself a real rifle.
Yeah.
Are these asking prices, or these are like somebody's paid that?
No, like these people are literally paying these prices, gentlemen. This is.
Okay.
I'm looking at one specifically with bids. If like I said, Kevin, can I snatch the screen for a sec?
It's on you. It's on your face.
It's on my face. All right.
Yeah,
let me go over to
the camera. You need to go to screen share of some sort if there's an option.
All right, there we go.
This might be too technical for us at this point, but there you go.
All right, everybody see this? All right, there you guys are.
Oh yeah.
In real time.
Minimum bid, gentlemen, $850.
That's amazing.
And guys, these are gimmicky. For that kind of money, you could literally go get yourself trained to shoot well,
Yeah, exactly.
and do more damage. I mean,
Taste of ammo in a training class.
It's just
it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is. All right. Anyway, so that's the story of bump fire stocks. Keep in mind, the legislation that they're putting out there says any modification of anything. Let's talk about what a binary trigger is, because you're going to hear about it.
Wait, has it even been confirmed?
I want to warn you against emotionally dictating that something like this go away. There's no evidence to conclude that bump fire stocks cause that much mass casualty.
Yeah,
And there's nothing to say that someone with a good trigger finger couldn't have done more damage in less time with.
Now, hold on. You heard those shots as well as everybody else did. You're telling me that was a regular trigger finger?
If you, somebody brought this up on Instagram, hear the shots. What you're hearing is the crack.
He's got to speak up.
Around the wall.
You're hearing a crack, a report, and an echo, right?
Okay, so that sounds like 3 shots.
And a splash
Look,
as it hits wood.
the fact of the matter is
concrete.
I don't know anybody who can accurately shoot even a true machine gun for long bursts.
He didn't have to be accurate. It's fish in a barrel. I mean,
It
literally.
For a crowd of 20,000 people on a lawn like that, with anyone that knows how to operate a rifle with an optic on a platform with time to plan it out. Now we're finding out this guy was booking hotel rooms at different hotels that oversaw different events that coordinated with it. He might have been at another event in Vegas earlier thinking about doing this. Definitely was in Boston, had something in Boston for some other event. This guy, again, so let's go back.
But
we
I
don't know
warn
anything.
you,
Have we gotten a list of where'd he go?
It is important. It is important to note that it sounds so logical that, yeah, man, we don't need bump stocks. Let them take it. But trust me when I tell you that it won't stop there. That won't even be the tip of the iceberg.
Especially if the NRA does what they're doing, which is trying to keep it out of Congress and away from legislation. They're trying to make it. What are you doing?
Not only the NRA, but
they're trying to make it so that it gets done as part of the NFA.
Has it even been confirmed that this asshole used one of those things?
No one's confirmed anything.
I mean, guys, I got to be honest. I don't know how you could not have confirmed it. You shot the guy. You got the guns in the room. I mean, it seems like to me it would be a cut and dry. This is exactly what he used.
Well, they never
Here are
told
the
us.
pictures.
Turn it up.
I mean, that would just make sense.
I mean, Vegas has more video cameras per square inch than anywhere in the world. I mean, if anything should be on film, it should be this.
And yet we don't know anything yet. Isn't that seem ironic to you, Casey?
It's crazy. We don't have any film of the guy carrying bags. We don't have anything with carts. We don't have anything.
No.
Over 4,000 pounds of equipment is what I heard, between ammo and guns.
Well, and again, where's this list of guns? Is there a list yet? All we have is
we will never see it. Especially if it doesn't fit a narrative. We'll never know.
We've seen a bunch of ARs, correct?
Right? I don't know about a bunch, but maybe 2. That's what I've seen.
We've seen the bump stocks. We've seen the ammo, and of course we've seen the results.
I can't click that stuff. I don't have to. I can't do what you're asking me to. I need it verbally from you. I can't click this stuff and keep it going on this. Got all this stuff going on.
They're just images.
Images. So there's images. I've seen, again, the other product that we heard about today is the Surefire high capacity mags. I don't know if you saw this, Justin, but they're gone too. Gone.
Yep, I ordered 17 of them. I'm actually receiving 6.
There you go. So it's going to be a fluctuation in different products, I think we're going to see. But the bump fire stock thing, you want to go spend that kind of money on it, we're going to move on.
They're sold out everywhere.
So, but they're sold out and people are
we
just
went
doing
online just for shits and giggles to see if we could get one.
So it's really gone.
And Tripper Slapfire, their site it says right on there, big orders. They're not taking any orders at this time.
All right, so here's an interesting question because they threw it at me and I had my opinion on it. So if the legislation that goes through right now says anything that will improve a gun that you've purchased and make the rate of fire faster or something along those lines in terms of the language, is getting a nickel boron bolt and putting it in there that would make the gun
Cycle.
cycle.
The language is too open. I mean, you can't do that because you could even argue that a grip would make you shoot faster. I mean, it never ends. You can't leave language that open.
I still want. I just have such a hard time with the fact that he broke other laws and it didn't stop him. What in the world do we even fathom another law is going to do to help this?
Well, this is, Ross. Again, there's lots of people who don't like these weapons because of what happens when these bad guys get them and get their way. You have to acknowledge that. There's a lot of people that wake up and say, oh, my God, we have to do
Kevin,
something.
what's the difference between 50 people getting killed in Vegas and 50 people getting killed in Chicago?
The 50 people getting killed in Chicago are killed week in and week out in a gang-infested
in an extremely
gang-infested area where regular people are not allowed to defend themselves.
Some of the tightest gun laws in the country.
Correct. And what happened at this one is everyone's been to Vegas. Everyone's been to an event like that. Everyone went to bed that first night and said, holy shit, can you imagine being with your friends in an event and that happening? Everyone doesn't think about Chicago every night. That's the difference.
I understand that, but
that's the difference.
It just seems a bit hypocritical when that shit happens week in and week out. Every week.
Tell me what's going on in the chat as well, because I'm curious.
And nobody says a word. And those are our citizens. You know what I mean? Right. Regardless.
And
but I just find it a little ironic that this is the push. But this shit's been happening all year, every week, week in and week out, in major cities that have very, very strict gun control laws.
In the last 14 hours, there's been 2 people who have lost their lives and 9 people wounded in Chicago in the last 14 hours. Google's back on point.
Guys, I got a question for you guys, and this is something that I just really recently saw on the set of pictures. Has anybody noticed that there's not a single shell casing near the AR that's got the 100-round Surefire mag in it that does have the slide fire stock on it? Yet on the other one where you're looking at the AR-10 that's laid over on its side with the ACOG, that you notice that it specifically has a shitload of shell casings around it?
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it.
Go ahead, bud.
You neither.
I mean, I got a question. I mean, now, obviously, we've all shot guns for years. Last time I checked, they throw a shitload of brass.
There's casings.
There are casings in the pictures.
Yep. I see it in the one picture with the AR-10, but I do not see a single shell casing that I can discern in the picture with the one with the slide fire.
Once again, we don't know what part of the hotel room we're looking at. We don't know, again, the setup of what he had. We've just heard all these things.
I've been in the Mandalay Bay rooms. That's the floor over by a lamp.
Have you seen the picture of the dude laying there dead?
Yeah,
I haven't gotten. They've censored that one. They've pulled it since I heard about it.
I've got it, and it's nothing but 223 casings all around the dude.
All around his feet and everything. Yeah, we're looking at that as well. Yeah.
Something's fishy.
So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of information that's going to come out. There is an enormous amount of people who automatically believe this is a false flag. This is a conspiracy. This is meant to do this, or this. The truth of the matter is, once again, this is a national tragedy that I think you're right. We need to stand firm, but I think we also need to respect the fact that people lost their lives in a mass way, and it's going to hurt, and there's going to be an anniversary date. And every time you go to Vegas, you're going to think about it when you land.
Well, and quite frankly, you've got a grieving period where, I was talking to somebody today at the Big 3 East event, and we specifically talked about the fact that, a lot of people are grieving, and a lot of emotions come out of things like this. And I think you see that uptick on your Facebook page. I'm not sure if you have personally, but I certainly have. There are a lot more people out there willing to fight me on or take on the issue of gun control. And for the most part, I think we need to allow them to grieve. We need to allow people to grieve, and we need to allow people to have an opinion, and not just shun them, but try to educate them.
I think we need to educate them. I think we need to realize the difference between the laws in place and the regulation and the laws that they're trying to push. understand where it's intelligent to put your foot down, put it firm. You don't have to be an asshole. I've already seen a lot of asshole stuff online. And again,
to inflame
from
the
our
situation.
side,
Yeah, to inflame the situation is just throwing sand in their eyes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're already. I mean, these people are looking for answers at the end of the day. They're misguided. Their agenda doesn't match ours, but it doesn't make them bad people. It just makes them uninformed.
Can you give me that headline from the Tribunist?
But I will say it doesn't help when we've got a lot of fanning of the flames. You know, today we came back to the hotel room to quite a stir. Some YouTube personalities
that's the headline
are taking it just a little too far.
The headline
opinion.
about the YouTube personality,
and quite frankly, emotion over logic.
Well, let's talk about this real quick. The other thing that came across, again, we're connected in the industry, so we hear these things. There's been a couple posts from some personalities out there saying, hey, I've been contacted. They want to use my footage of the bonfire stock. They want to talk to me, and they want to maybe even film me using it. What should I do?
Yeah, yep, we heard that today.
More than once to a couple people in big. And then the comments that come back, what do you think it is? 50-50. Half the people say, absolutely not. They will cut it, chop it. They will make you look bad. Do not do it. It's not smart. The other half of people are saying, hey, it's the Instagram age. If you can get good coverage, you should do it.
They had made it sound like they were getting more yays than nays, actually, which kind of concerned me.
We all got stuck as a beautiful woman. All right, so anyway.
No, there wasn't none.
No, there wasn't. Janelle, I promise. So to wrap this up for now, and obviously we'll be talking about this on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
for a while. I think it's going to be quite a bit. They're almost positive in the share saying there's other accomplices. So there are people that help plan. There's all kinds of noise. I didn't know about the fuel tank thing till today.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things about more planning and the fact that this guy thought he was going to get away into another stage of attack. And once we find out everything, then we can start to kind of try to figure. I think the biggest thing that we didn't talk about yet to wrap it up, and let's talk about it, is that everyone is frustrated. The front page of the USA Today, everything.
Yeah.
No one knows why. There's no note. There's no manifesto. There's no my girlfriend's going to tell you what I told her last night before I did this. There's nothing but guessing going on. And I think the average person in America is a little scared by that. That's my opinion.
I want to know when all of a sudden we have to have the answers to everything. You know what I mean? Sometimes there are just no answers. You know what I mean? When somebody offs themselves without telling you.
There's always an answer for the Google.
Then you really have no answers. And to expect one, I think, is a bit of an entitlement issue.
But see, but there's a difference in between not having an answer and actually having two sides. So you have two factions that are pointing in two totally opposite ways. That's why you really need an answer to this, because without this, like how Kevin said, people are just gonna run wild with shit, bro. Yeah. It's just gonna run wild. So you either nip it in the butt and you pick a side and you have a stance and you know what you know, or you don't know shit.
Well, and we only know what we're being told, guys.
Yeah, I think it comes down to there's a guy out on the West Coast I don't agree with on a lot of stuff, but he's got a line where he says liberalism is a mental disorder. And I think that's exactly where this happens. You've got this guy who's apparently been in a number of anti-Trump rallies, and not that I'm here or there on that subject, but a lot of these folks who are these hardcore never Trumpers,
I didn't know that.
They are so out there. They're getting tattoos on themselves that say, not my president, all this crazy crap. It's not that far of a push for some of these people where, and this guy was apparently had a few connections with Antifa, not just, them, one group trying to claim him, but him actually being at a couple of their events and actually being in the front.
So you're trying to tell me that we're really selling and buying the story that a group that literally showed up a year ago motivated this guy enough to go do this?
What I'm saying, this guy was already unhinged enough that, you know, we have the legal executive from CBS, Vice President Legal Affairs at CBS, who came out on her Twitter and said, "I'm not showing sympathy for a bunch of gun-loving Republicans."
Yep.
Over those who died.
MSI,
I thought it was CBS. Was CBS?
I did hear that, and
CBS.
again, there's a couple other people that said some pretty stupid shit along the way.
Right. So my point here is, think about that woman. She's a lawyer, vice president at CBS. She can't put.
Yeah,
she knows better.
She knows the words that come out of her
She
mouth.
knows the words that are coming out of her mouth, but she does it anyway.
Yep.
So here's this other guy who probably says this stuff to enough people and
He's not
gets
legally trained.
right, and he gets into a sphere of influence of all these crazed people on this Never Trump side and the Antifa crowd. Now, I'm not saying they made him do it, but what I'm saying is that he surrounded himself with a group of people where it became, in his warped mind, not just acceptable, but something he should actually do. And that's where I think this comes in. I don't think this was some kind of coordinated Antifa thing. I think this is them inserting their sphere of influence onto a warped and demented mind already and pushing him over the edge to actually put his words into action.
So you're saying while he may not be directly affiliated with it, the rhetoric and his state of mind is what caused the incident.
Yes, but it's not just the rhetoric online. I think his direct physical connection with them going to these events, he surrounded himself with that sphere of influence that pushed him over the edge. You know, if people talk about peer pressure all the time in high school and stuff like that, well, you know, it's not just in high school. When you start getting in with different groups, it doesn't matter what it is. People exert influence over people who are weaker minded. Now, the fact that this guy had a lot of money or not doesn't matter. There are plenty of people who are very weak-minded who wind up just doing well in life for certain things, or they can't juxtapose reality with their view. And I think that's where part of this comes down to. And who knows, part of this he may have you guys ever read the book Enemies Foreign and Domestic by Matt Bracken?
No, I have not.
Okay, it's actually a great book. It's a great series. It's the first book in a trilogy. And the beginning of that book, the push for gun control starts where, and I'm not saying this guy was set up or anything like that. I think he was just whacked and he wound up doing it. But in the book, there's the entry into it where it starts this downward decline is where a guy gets up on an elevated position and starts shooting into a stadium, a football stadium filled with people. Right. And the first thing I thought of when this broke, and I was actually awake, I was literally just going to bed. I was checking my feed right before I went to bed, and then I wound up staying up for the next 3 hours. But that was the first thing that popped into my mind was that book. Now, you know, obviously, I'm not saying that book gave him ideas, and you know, the guy who wrote it, Matt Bracken, is a former Navy SEAL, so it's not like he's, you know, whatever. But at the same time, there's a whole lot of spheres of influence, I think, that converged on this to make this happen.
And that's probably true. However, the execution and the facts and everything about the execution of the plan is still so fuzzy. So I think we're going to learn more. We'll sit back. We'll end this out.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, and we'll end this out by saying our condolences truly once again go out, as everybody does, to the victims, to the people that are going to have again, to the kids whose parents are not going to come home that night, to all of those people that are going to have to deal with that trauma. Because I don't think everyone's really talking about it. There was 20,000 people that all have a story, and most of it was escape. And that's terror and escape. And I think that we need to all keep that in mind. The funerals are going to start happening if they haven't already, and I think a lot of the stories and personal sides of this is still to come. A lot of heartstrings to be pulled, and again, the natural reaction is something that we need to respect and stand firm.
We need to respect it. But we need to stand firm because emotion needs to be put aside and logic needs to prevail.
And it will.
And guys, this is no time to sit back on your laurels. We need to fight for our rights.
All right.
This is the time to do it.
Speaking for fighting for our rights, a great brand that we're going to break for 30 seconds for we're well past half the
I know.
hour.
I know. Hell of a thing to happen.
Well, I hope the conversation was enlightening enough that we'll get to the big three in a second and all the excitement we have for that. That's obviously a story we needed to cover. EverydayCarryLife.com's got all the Kanai gear that Ross has been wearing, that I've been wearing all week. Couple different shirts, couple bags that we've been using, a couple that got wet today, but survived, obviously.
Dude, they're sick shirts.
Make sure you check it out. Again, that's over at EverydayCarryLife.com, and make sure you check out GunCarrier.com. Go check out Lord of War Firearms. Make sure you check out Joe over on 13C. What's the actual channel, Joe? Forgive me. 13C.
13C Gun Reviews is the channel. You can hit it by the 13c.us or 13cmedia.com. Either one.
It. And also Gun Channels _ in the house. Appreciate that as well, brother.
Oh.
Go find him over on Instagram.
Yep.
And these two guys.
2A Guys in Gear. You can check us out on Instagram and mostly YouTube.
And you guys got that big three coverage.
We did.
And guys, thank you for joining us again this year, man.
Thanks.
It's always good to have you guys. Yeah.
Maryland's in the house. How do you know it? What do you know? All right, so let's get started with the Big Three East event. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So we are in, God, we've done this show so many times. We're in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yep.
Right outside of DeLand. There's the Big Three East Training Center where twice a year there's an event called the Big Three East Media Event. 30 to 40 companies, a bunch of media, all get together for what I like to call a private shot show. That's what I refer to.
I like to call it family time.
Private shot show where we all get together. We get time for presentations where we learn about the products. We get time for range time where we can shoot the guns, touch the things, do all those different things with the products. And I guess I'll just start throwing out some names of companies. And here's how this happens and works. I've got a list. It's definitely going to leave out one or two or three. The bonus for those three companies is next week we talk about you exclusively because we always miss a few. But we'll try to hit them all.
Let's start with Pioneer.
Let's start with our friend that's sitting here waiting patiently.
Let's start with
who's going to come talk about? Yeah,
damn straight.
So why don't you guys scoot over and let her? Yeah, why don't you jump out? There's a lady. Casey, there's a lady. Behave.
Our old favorite,
Keep down, Casey.
Tactical RX.
Actually. Full auto.
Tactical RX in the house. Look at that guy right
So Tactical RX is here. Ashley's
Look at
here.
that head of lettuce.
So anyway, they're going to tell us about, again, their product real quick and their company real quick. Tactical RX is out of Colorado. What
My
makes you
neighbors.
different? Why should the shooting community know about you?
Well, we make prescription high pro, and we do it on a whole other level.
Correct.
It's very, very custom.
Yep.
We have specialty lenses for the older guys who can't see their sights anymore. We can take care of that. You know, really strong prescription. We can take care of that.
Yep.
We have lots of different models. So big head, small head. It's
Nice.
just another level.
Nice. And Ashley, there's a brand new line that's out.
Yes.
And how many different models are in that one? Total.
5.
5 different models. You can get them clear. You get them in smoke. They have, again, these machines that you have. Tell me about that real quick.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
in a sense or so.
So when I invented the technology to put the lenses in the curved lens,
Let's talk about that again. He invented the technology that puts a prescription in a curved lens.
yeah, I did that over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've since refined the process. The lenses are extremely safe. They're far beyond ANSI standards.
We have models here with, again, that have been shot by a shotgun. You can see the results. There's your website is tacticalrx.com. There's articles that have been written about this company. They've got an great reputation that keeps growing.
I was talking to Brett today about a pair I've had for 2 years now. That I remarked that they don't scratch easily. I've got safety glasses that I wear, construction, whatever, that are constantly. I mean, I go through 12 pairs every 3 weeks, but these Tactical RX glasses hold up, and they hold up well. And I opted for the prescription ones. And quite frankly, I think last year I called them laser beams, man, because I see better in the glasses than I do in my contacts. So
Go to tacticalrx.com, check them out, give them a call on Friday or later. Ask for Ashley. She'll take care of you. She'll ask you all the questions that she needs to know so that these guys can again, it's like you're a mad scientist. I've always said he's a mad scientist,
I'll be calling that.
But in a good way.
but in a very good way.
Yes. So
Joe, go ahead. Speak on Tactical RX real quick.
sure. So I've had their glasses now for at least a year and a half, and I've just got another pair as well. And I have to say, these things are phenomenal. I mean, they did an excellent job, and I wear contacts normally on a daily basis as well, and it's hard. I really don't like the way I look in glasses personally, even though they are very stylish and I like them. I hate all glasses. It's just me. But it's a struggle some days. I'm like, yeah, should I put those on, versus put on my contacts? Because, like our friend here next to you said, they are sharp, they're clear, they're crisp, and you guys do a phenomenal job. So
thank you very much.
Good deal.
All I'm gonna say is I'm not as old as the rest of these people on here are. Not as old as 2A guys in gears. I'm not as old as Tack Daddy and his older brother, or this guy over here wearing contacts. But I love my Tactical RXs. I've had them for over a year. They're the ones that are always in my range bag. And as someone who wears non-prescription glasses or who doesn't need glasses, point blank, 'cause I'm not that old, I love my favorite feature about them is how they do not fog up. That is my favorite feature about them, how they actually sit off your cheeks and they have enough space in between your brow above. So you think you think it's lame and I'm saying some scientific shit, but they
Dude, I have pictures of you with this. I'll make sure that I put them up on Instagram tomorrow. We're good.
I've already deleted them. I trust me. Somebody tried to get me early today. Not trying to drop no names, but somebody's gonna get some ugly pictures posted up. The ones they hate the most about them posted.
See, this is get some keepers of me.
No, honestly, like the best for me as someone who's not a prescription wearer, and why I rock Tactical RX non-prescription glasses is because they don't fucking fog up. There is enough space in between the bottom of your eye and your cheek, as well as in between your brow and the top of the lens, where there's constant airflow. Like, you don't have to get anti-fog for these glasses. You don't have to rub deodorant on them so they don't fog up. These things are fit, and you can bend the back around them so they fit right. Shit is kick ass. So you don't have to be a fucker like these guys to rock. Pull out your phone.
And as far as pictures, this awesome Elijah Craig, thank you very much for sharing some of it here. We're drinking it just over some rocks tonight.
Out of a plastic cup.
I could easily rotate this laptop and get him in the frame, but you know what? I'm not going to because I'm not a douche.
Exactly.
Right on. All right. Well, okay.
He's got too much evidence.
We appreciate it as always. We'll talk about it soon.
So
again.
before we let him go, tell me about your experience at Big 3.
Oh, Big 3 is awesome. Ashley actually has done a little bit of shooting before, but not much. No. And today, CJ and Charlie showed her how to shoot.
Nice.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Right.
Good deal.
Of course he did.
Good to hear. And
the nickname Stormtrooper. That says anything about my ability to shoot.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty
and left
funny.
with what?
Full auto Ashley.
Full auto Ashley. All
Right on. Right on.
I'd say you stepped it up.
So those are the kind of people you're going to
Yeah.
speak to when you deal with Tactical RX right here in the flesh. Appreciate you guys stopping by.
Cool.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
guys.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks, Ashley.
Now I've got a huge list. So let's just kind of roll through these and everybody jump in as they see fit. How about that? Good deal? Fight Light Industries, Florida company. They have the sport model AR-15 rifles.
Yep.
These things were badass.
SCRs.
So basically, it's your regular Remington hunting rifle combined with all the features of an AR. That's kind of how I look at it,
basically a custom lower. Okay, the lower has the trigger is. And we'll use this again. The trigger's pulled back, and it's on a Monte Carlo stock.
There you go.
So
there is no grip coming down out of the stock.
Right. You have the magwell. The trigger.
guys.
The trigger is proprietary. It's pulled back a bit so that it works with a Monte Carlo stock. But the upper is any AR upper that you can throw on any other AR. Be it 300 Blackout, be it 5.56. It all works the same.
Very cool. And
very cool. Very
loudest guns on the range. One of 2 award winners for their belt-fed uppers for an AR platform auto. Not cheap, expensive, not an entry-level gun by any means, but I think we all saw
entry
that.
level is $4,200.
Right, you're talking about, but again, probably worth every on if you had the money. And
Oh man,
if
don't
you played
stand
with-
next to it.
If you played with everything and you get to a certain level where you start getting into the good stuff,
Mhm.
the really good stuff that we all drool about,
Can I break
that's
some
all,
news to you?
man.
Yeah.
The coolest YouTube channel here has one with it. That would be
You
us.
guys own one?
We actually have one online to us. It's
Good
it's a
for you.
Valkyrie though, with the
Good for
binary
you.
trigger.
Good for the binary
So
trigger.
that'll be coming
These
up tomorrow.
guys.
Right on,
Yeah.
man. Right on. Check those guys out.
I got a bunch of people that are messaging me right now from within Big Three. I got to finish the live show. I'll do the shout out. I'll do the special announcement about the road tomorrow at the end of the show.
Yeah, make sure you stick around if you are at Big Three tonight and you're watching the show, which ought to be everybody.
We got some
Stay
news about
tuned.
that.
We do have some news about
The
getting
mud, the mud bog issue tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll deal with that. But again, if you message me and again, everybody else, I'll be back in just a minute. Let's talk about MTR Leather. Where's my Peacemaker? Peacekeeper. All right, so now I'm going to be quick.
Peacemaker.
Great company, small company.
Peacemaker, small American-made company dealing with leather. She posted this when she got it through TSA.
Got on the airplane from her
And
airplane.
all it is some leather that's been sandwiched together in a
compressed at 30,000 psi.
You
I
can
think.
grab it that way and strike.
Ow.
You can grab it this way and strike. And give Charlie horses. At worst, you can have a good time giving Charlie horses to guys that don't let you show their face on the internet. Tomorrow. MTR Custom Leather. Go check them out online. These are $20. Very
Dude.
cool. They come in natural. They come in black. See, he wants to talk smack back.
The other,
He can't resist.
the other
Joe,
thing,
don't let him do it. Joe, don't let him do it.
the other thing is that okay, this is a cool product, but what these guys really do is they make holsters out of exotic materials. I saw a Stingray holster today.
I didn't see that.
That literally made me drool. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. And I don't know if you've seen the Stingray, but it is absolutely gorgeous material.
All right. Up next, before I forget it, our friends from High Threat Concealment were in the house with all of their low-profile stuff. I got one on me right now. I can't show it to you, but High Threat Concealment inside the waistband with the wing. Awesome. With a shield or even a Glock 19. I'm carrying a Glock 19 full-size sitting down. Haven't thought about it till I just smacked it. Awesome, awesome stuff. Great company. You can buy all that stuff at Everyday Carry Life as well. Great partner of ours for the last year. They're great people. It was great to meet a couple of the new people that I haven't met there before.
Yeah, high threat. I mean, I can't speak highly enough about. I've got a low profile system, and that's actually a cool video. If you're not familiar with the channel over here, not to plug myself necessarily.
No, do that, Joe. I was going to say absolutely. I've seen your stuff on High Threat. You have great stuff on them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they are fantastic. It is by far the best belt system I've ever used. And I say that hands down, no kidding, joking aside, nothing. I'm not sponsored by them, anything else. I mean, it is the best system I've used so far.
I like
Daddy. Exactly. Yeah. You're talking about the wing. Were you talking about the holster? Or were you talking about your maxi pad?
See how he's silly.
Yes.
He's silly. See, I'm a call.
Oh, he went there.
It's a heavy flow day, right? It's a heavy flow day.
You're a Bama, and everyone knows it, but no one knows what I'm talking about except you. So.
And the guys behind you, because we Merlin.
Yeah, you know that. He's a Bama. Straight Bama. All right. The Troy showed up. It was great to see Troy Industries there.
Yes, it really was.
Yeah, it was good to see them there.
Troy in the flesh, talking to him at length. The one product I'm going to bring up is the Pump AR.
Another really
You
cool
have a
product.
gun that all of a sudden fits all those compliant states, right? It takes care of a lot of issues that you would have with an AR. Because it gets rid of the semi-automatic feature.
Right.
It's not semi-automatic. It's a pump. It's literally an AR.
You can have collapsible stock. You can have a bayonet lug. Technically, after that, you can have everything that you're.
I'm on here talking about Big Three. Can I help you?
Hold tight.
I'm in the.
Who answers the phone when they're doing their podcast?
Big Three is called.
Garden Inn in the lobby.
Big Three is called.
Actually, we're going to have to cut because Mr. Big Three, a third of the Big Three, I guess, just pulled into the parking lot. So.
Garden Inn.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I think that's who we're talking to. Anyway.
You said send me a link.
Great
I sent
company.
you a link, but I'll talk to you. I got to get back online. We're talking about Big Three. All right. All right. I'll call you back. All right. That was CJ. He went to the beachside. join?
Yeah, I saw him pull in, so we're gonna
give him a big hug. Grab him. Go send gun channels to go get him, please. I'm dead serious. Please.
All right. Well, you know what? We're gonna take an elevator ride, so we may or may not lose you.
Awesome.
But,
no worries.
We're gonna go do that right now.
Love to get him on. He said he wants to jump on.
Yeah.
All
right. What are you taking?
Let's talk about Spike's Tactical. The Roadhouse 308 is something that was very cool that I enjoyed shooting.
I did not get a chance to shoot that.
Okay.
Very nice rifle. Very well built rifle. I like the guys who put effort into building their uppers and their lowers. Where they do, you know, if you look at it, the selector switch has a cutout. You know what I mean? So it's almost segmented in a way. They just spent a lot of time making that gun.
Yep.
Was Ben there?
It's definitely worth a shot.
Yep. So we also had Gearhead Works.
Gearhead Works.
Gearhead Works was there. They had a very innovative brace that would qualify as an
a pistol brace. Yep. Totally redesigned.
And what's cool is it's almost like it comes out of the back of the stock and it almost curves down so that when you put your arm in it, you're
it's called the tail hook.
Yeah, it's like a big J shape.
So there's a big thing that comes underneath, but it folds out. So it's not like awkward. It's not always out. And so it folds out. You put your hand in there.
Two major advantages of that system is we all know with the SIG brace, it attaches to your arm. It's hard to get out and shoot. You have to shoot it one-handed. To get into some sort of isosceles is almost impossible in sight down if you're locked into that brace. This solves that problem. The other benefit of this is the weight of the gun rests underneath your arm. So the recoil of the gun is almost mitigated by the weight of the gun coming off your arm and back, So it's almost as if it balances the recoil of the gun out to almost eliminate recoil, but it also gives you that ability to get up in the isosceles stance and actually aim that weapon correctly.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. I called it, when I talked to him, I called it a game changer in the...
Oh, I saw him.
There he
is. So what did you want to say?
How you doing?
What did you want to say, big guy?
Hey, I just wanted to say I appreciate everybody coming out there. You guys did a great job today. Even though we had the monsoon and the 40 inches of rain and the road we just repaired got destroyed, it was a good day out there. Tomorrow we're going to park people on the road. We're still going to go in, get some binary blown up, get some taken up on that. We got some information to put out to some riders, some interesting stuff we're going to do to give you guys a little bit more benefit to come to the event next year, maybe some per diem on what you've got. Big thing is we got a lot of good companies here. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of good riders putting the stuff out there. Guys in gear did a great job out there today. Been doing stuff for a change. So
unbelievable.
I think the event was an astounding success. We got big stuff to put out for the riders tomorrow. Big stuff as far as our actual magazine that we're working with. We're going to get paid contributors for that and push money that way. So we got big things coming. Big Three's going to be changing. We have some major sponsors coming on. We brought on Boone and Tontos of actually instructors at the camp from 13 hours. So we also have Charlie Mike, the guy that holds the record for the longest shot, and he's actually going to start his class out there too. So big things coming to Big Three, big things coming to the rider, a little bit of a format change to make stuff easier for you guys, and money coming your way.
One question for you that I got to ask, because we're going over each company that presented, and you presented for a company. I need you to be brief, but tell me about the new AK company you're with.
Okay, I took over vice president of Pioneer Arms. They made some of the best shotguns in the world that usually sell between $8,000 and $10,000, 372 man hours. But what we've done is we've decided that we're coming back in the U.S. market. I am the director of all USA for Pioneer U.S. Arm Corporation, and we're bringing in the PM63, which there's only 1,600 left in existence. We are bringing in the PPS 44, where there's a little bit more of them. And other than some parts on the receiver, they are actually brand new production guns. We're bringing in Hellpups. We're bringing in Sporter rifles that will be converted to AKMSs. And the guns are coming in. They're inexpensive. We're looking at, straight off from the factory, there's going to be a 12-year warranty on the gun. But if you own that gun and I'm the director of the company and there's a problem.
If there's a problem.
Right, we're going to make some. Go ahead.
You broke up just a little bit, but you were saying if there's a problem, you're going to make it right.
hey, if there's a problem with the guns, we're going to make it right.
Gotcha.
With that, we're going to take care of the guns with it. We're going to take care of the customers. We're going to take care of the riders to make sure you get the proper material over there with it. And the other riders that are watching this thing right here, we want you guys to come to Big 3 because we're sending people to Poland to get the Armorer School. You come to our event, right? We're going to get you guys over there and get you some quality training and get you sent around the world. We have money to spend to make sure that we produce the riders that we want to have the product out there, so you guys can put out educated information on it because you're going to know about the gun.
Good deal, brother. Well, we'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Once again, the big announcement for everybody that's watching that was there is park on the main road. We'll get some shuttles going back and forth to the
Everybody parks on the main road. We'll bring you back and forth with the four-wheel drive vehicles and get you in with no problem, or maybe with a little bit of problem. It's pretty bad tonight. We're still going to carry on with the event for what we can. Companies that want to bail or decide to bail to go ahead. Want to make sure that you guys show up, the riders in particular, because we have business to take care of tomorrow before you get out of town. And then we have some information that we're putting out there about some stuff we're going to do to help assist you guys a little bit more in coming to this event.
Good deal. I've got another 15 companies to run through before the end of the show. So
all right, go. Have a good night. Thanks for bringing me on.
Appreciate it, bro. Thanks, dude.
All right, Tack.
Later, bro. All right, so
guys, I'm gonna check out for a minute. I'm just gonna leave it sitting here over to the side, and I'll be back with you guys in a little bit.
Really appreciate what you did there,
man.
man. Thanks
Awesome.
again.
Thanks, guys.
Later. Good deal. And now Joe gets to hang out with CJ.
Yeah, right.
Not a bad thing. All right, so Joe, make sure you mute yourself real quick, Joe. Okay, cool. He's done. All right, so the foregrip from Medieval, the 364 grip.
Awesome. Yep.
All right, let's all talk about that. This is something that's really simple idea, and it's something that y'all thought about. But it's a foregrip that with an adjustment of the bottom part of it, you could put this thing into 360. You could put it in. You like it a little forward, you like it a little to the outside, you like it a little back, whatever you like. It's good. There's storage. Medieval
It's easy to use.
Medieval industry.
It's easy to use. It's easy to manipulate. It's a solid constructed product. I don't remember what the price point was, but I thought it was
Under $100. Under $100.
Yes. And dude, I've got single position and collapsible forward grips on my guns that cost more than that.
Yep.
Got it. I don't know the words and the adjectives that were used for this gentleman. And he is a gentleman. His wife joins him regularly. It's kind of awesome to see a couple, to be honest with you, about his team turning around. Mr. Krebs from Krebs Customs was with us again, and he's been here for years. And
isn't he just the coolest guy in the world?
He's the coolest guy in the world. But and again, I've partied with Krebs and his team at the Grunt Style Party in Vegas. I mean, they don't just go to Vegas, and like they're a part of the community, like truly. So when I first heard about Krebs Custom and came to this event, I just heard they were good AKs, really good AKs. You got to shoot these AKs. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know. And then got into some AKs, and I can't express to you what it's like. I shot a couple of them. But the thing about it is, put the mag in, you reach around, and you slide that thing, and you let go, and you go, oh, my God.
It doesn't sound like it's coming apart.
You haven't even shot it yet. You haven't even shot it yet, and you know that you have just racked this thing that is, it's a machine. It's the parts that go forward that you see in your mind, because we've all taken these things apart. But in your mind, you're like, what did he do? What? It's the difference, again, because most AKs, let's all be real, it's a little gritty, it's a little grimy, it's an industrial tool. And he makes these things into just incredible. I mean, I shot this one full auto, and I couldn't believe how smooth that thing was.
Absolutely.
And he's got innovative safety latches for AKs. So check out Krebs Customs. The other thing, the titanium brakes.
I was going to say the brakes.
And they don't move on an AK.
That full auto, it just stays flat.
Isn't it unbelievable? It's fun to shoot too.
It's actually one of the nicest full auto guns I think I've shot.
And everybody that I've, again, there's 3 or 4 guys out there, and he's definitely the godfather at this point in my mind. So, with all due respect to guys like Fuller and other big names that are out there,
but certainly,
if you go back in history and you look,
he has his niche. Krebs is quite the builder, does a great job on his guns, and I highly recommend them.
So, and you guys get photobombed by Tonto today? We got to meet Tonto today. Very cool. You see this thing about 13 hours, Benghazi. and you see this guy on the news all the time, and you're like, wow, he's really, he speaks good, and he's really got his shit together, and he believes what we believe, and
he's totally freaking
holy
down to
shit,
earth.
his story, right? Holy shit, his story with the 13 Hours episode.
It was an honor to shake that man's hand. You know, I keep saying, I even said it in the chat. I'm sure you all saw it, that I got to talk to him. I got to spend some time with him, and I got to shake his hand and thank him for his service, which is a highlight for me.
There's more than one hero that comes here and that we get to meet along the way.
Yep.
Just really cool to meet him and his friends.
Yep.
And he's here with Maxim.
Yep.
And we were
Maxim
talking about
Defense.
buffers. We
Yep.
were talking about a 9mm BCG that's a little
Mhm.
bit different than the others that you see out there. You're talking about, as I'm listening to him talk, not Tonto, the Maxim guys,
Right.
listening to them talk, these guys are engineers. These guys look at things from the mind of, and we did this because of this, and it fixed this, and now it's superior to this because of this. And I heard it over and over and over again, how they innovate, and they innovate, and they innovate. Cool stuff. They've got great stocks.
Yeah.
Their stocks are awesome.
And I believe it's MaximDefense.com. I could be wrong.
probably.
Maxim Defense. And
Gotcha.
thank you guys for bringing in for I'm sure they brought him in the Tonto and his buddy.
Yeah.
Because that was truly a highlight to meet one of America's heroes.
Google's jealous.
Kevin's just jazzed because he got his phone number.
Maybe. RS Regulate, old friends of the show, awesome guys that run that company and take care of business over there. If you don't know who they are, they do different mounts for all kinds of different things, focusing on the AK, fixing a problem over time. What I saw today, though, blew me away. I'm not going to lie.
What is going on in that background?
Dude, there's a lady with a cart. Sorry.
Going across the tile floor.
Going across the tile floor. She's like moving it, put something in, moving it.
What noise?
I think she's done.
I
All right,
hope so.
she's done.
Anyway, continue, man.
Saw
Archery.
something today that blew me away.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I'm a fan of the Galil 308. That came out. We saw that for the first time here. Did you see his rails?
No.
Oh, God, you got to go check them out.
Yeah.
He's first on our list.
Again, someone who cares about putting together something that from his brain to paper to an actual thing. So he's got these hand guards, these rails for the Galil, that when you hold them, you're like, that's what it should have been. Because again, the Galil comes in, it's a great rifle, but it's got that big, beefy, overmolded thing. This is an actual rail that you have different places and the way the grooves are. You got to check it out.
Yeah, super low profile, M-LOK compatible.
It's metal instead of plastic, and
It's metal instead of
33%
plastic.
lighter than the original.
And it is light as
There you
a
go.
feather. It really is.
Why is the Googling?
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
All right. WMD guns.
Mhm.
These guys do coatings,
Nickel boron,
nickel boron on the whole gun.
whole gun. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's
They
gorgeous.
machine a lot of their own stuff. That's the one with the beast.
The beast.
And the big beast or the super beast or
the
the
dirty beast.
the dirty beast.
Beast.
Those guns are fun to shoot.
Those guns were a ton
and
of fun.
and
to
they're
shoot.
smooth. And again, if you're not unfamiliar with what that coating means, in essence, you don't have to oil the gun.
Yeah, they actually said that you want to prime it with a little bit of oil, but really the gun doesn't need any lubrication. The coefficient of friction is so low that and these materials like to slide across each other. They're almost designed to slide across each other, which means low coefficient of friction, very little wear if at all.
Yep.
Coatings, really cool.
Again, someone who's been here before, been here, and they're back. Palmetto State Armory.
Yeah.
Highlight there that I saw 6.5 Creedmoor from Palmetto at a price that I'd never heard of.
Oh.
So haven't seen any evidence on how it performed. I didn't shoot it. Did you?
Wasn't the upper like $499 or something?
Well, the whole thing's under $1,000, right?
Way under.
Way under.
Probably,
I
I'm
think
sure
like
they're
$700.
pricing. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
So they are the low cost option right now in most things. Gotcha.
And one thing they did have that I liked, it was their AR that was chambered for 45 ACP. Did you guys shoot that?
What kind of magazines?
It was a Glock magazine.
Glock magazine.
And it was
45.
it was really cool.
So it's almost like a Tommy gun feel, right?
Yeah, that was that's on my list to get.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
Really?
obviously it was very, very similar to the 9mm AR, just with a little bit more thump.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
but, I
But
liked
not significant.
Right.
Yeah, 45
Yeah,
out of
right.
yeah, out of
just a
range.
gentle shove.
Yep. Gentle
Well, wait a
shove,
minute.
I
What's
like
better, 45 or 9? Never mind.
Let's get into that.
Gosh, as a carbine caliber,
Custom coding,
wow,
right?
that's, yeah, it opens up. Some
Tell me what you
possibilities.
learned about Spartan Systems.
Spartan Systems. Okay, Spartan Systems. Their main focus is cleanings and coatings, right? So these guys make a product that first you clean your gun real well, and then you prep it with it's a lube, but the lube is a carrier for some super technical shit that I didn't pick up, which I'm sorry if you're watching. But anyway, this chemistry actually, once the gun's cleaned and purged of its impurities, the steel allows this molecule to absorb into the gun, causing for a ton less wear. B, my big hope, and I've talked about it on this show before, my AR will not chew steel. It literally locks up in my barrel. I'm hoping that a coating of this is going to resolve that issue for me.
Interesting.
They made a comment about a car that they had put this oil in a truck. The guy had ran it out of oil, ran it for something like 7,500 miles with no oil in it. Things running fine. So we'll see. There's more on that coming. A great company, a good guy. Go check them out, Spartan Systems.
Good deal. Yeah. Did you guys check this stuff out?
We did. We actually, what I like about them, or what the product that they have that I'm really interested in, is their suppressor sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Same principle, but it's made for cleaning suppressors and keeping them clean.
Good deal.
And making that process a lot easier.
Exactly, especially
Yeah.
on 22 cans because they get filthy.
Right, and hard to clean.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any help is appreciated.
Yep.
I had something at the top of my head. I forgot. Yeah. U.S. Chemical Supply provided binary for us to shoot today and yesterday and tomorrow. Shout out to those guys. Make sure you check out U.S. Chemical Supply. Action Targets. Again, some new different target options, some different things going on.
Action Target's got some good stuff going on.
They've got a system with an iPad interface with a thing that you don't have to be a technical technology wizard. It's got its own Wi-Fi that you can set up multiples and all this very cool stuff. We'll have to keep talking to Action Targets. I need that. Seriously, I almost hit him because he kept clicking it all night. We met Mr. LaRue today.
Yeah.
And most of us walked away with a trigger, grip, and safety selector switch. Very cool. He obviously molded this little thing to be able to show us as we test the two-stage triggers, and really crisp. I mean,
they're unbelievable.
And then I found out again, and I'm not going to reveal big numbers, but to say that LaRue has the capability and the machinery to do anything in this world in-house, it's pretty much there.
It's an understatement.
We'll be talking about them. They've got a complete upper system that's very awesome. And again, thank you to Mr. LaRue for being so again, just accommodating. And,
my God.
Super cool guy, very cool to talk to.
You're the man.
So if you haven't heard of 224 Valkyrie,
that was it.
It is a new round Federal is making, and LaRue is the first person to make a chamber for the round. We got to shoot it. I think everybody that shot it really felt the difference between a 223 and this 224 Valkyrie. It is a thumper. We're shooting steel, and there's a noticeable difference in this steel going down. I mean,
90 grain bullet.
90 grain bullet going something in the neighborhood of 2,100, 2,200 feet per second, something like that.
Yes.
So it is a ton of.
That sounds fun.
Get so technical.
It was so much fun, man. And we were just popping steel left. I mean, just bang, bang, bang. Nice flat shooter. Just a fun round. And like Kevin said, thank you for being so accommodating to us. If you guys want some really good parts for anything you can come up with, go check out LaRue.com.
Down the home stretch we go. Mission First Tactical, first time attendee to the Big 3 event. And this is their new, this is a prototype. There will be a texture on this, but this is their new AR grip, and it's more angled like a pistol. I don't know if you guys check this out, but it's pretty cool, man. There you go. Check it out so far. Mission First Tactical, the other thing, they're drop-in two-piece rail. Very simple, very cool. Facebook fans, appreciate you tuning in. Just letting you know that the battery's going low. If it does cut out, watch the rest of the show over on YouTube.
So the thing about Mission First Tactical, we all have stuff from Mission First Tactical. Come on, man.
Everybody's got the
they're
minimalist
BMS.
stock.
Yeah,
you know what
come
it,
on.
you know what it is.
Keep supporting them because the guys are cool. The owner of the company, I believe that's who we
Vice-
talked to.
no,
Vice
he's-
President is a great guy. Someone that will back his product. Someone that's looking for your input on his products. They're coming
Stop
out with
shaking
Kydex holsters. They're coming out with.
You're not supposed to tell anyone that.
Yes, I have.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Dude.
We're
Nobody's
live.
probably
Well,
watching.
then why don't you?
I'm just
Full of
messing with
shit.
him.
They're full of shit. I
All right.
remember who I'm not supposed to
all
talk
right,
about.
all right, all right.
We had you going there.
This long.
We saw a new round, a new bullet.
Two of them, really.
Wolf
Right.
is coming out with a 9x39 bullet that's got a.
I thought we couldn't talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that. It's
We
got
can talk
a.
about the 9x39.
It's got a.
200.
It's like 270 something.
270 grain. This thing is going to make 300 blackout look silly. It
It's-
really is, right?
It's a
Puts blackout under.
It's a 7.62 by 39 round, necked up to 9mm.
Right.
Talk about and that bullet is 248 grain.
Is that what it is? I thought it was
Two-
270, but
All right,
270,
sure.
it might be
So
270.
I shoot 220 out of my blackout, but the purpose of the round is suppressed. Is it still a suppressed friendly, like under 1,100 feet per second round?
Yes, usually it was designed. It was designed for Russian special forces.
What did he say?
He said a new blackout won't knock anything over.
It sounds really quiet though. It's pretty.
But the
Yeah.
increased size of the round is quite impressive. I mean, it really is impressive. And the reports back from the Russian military, from what they're telling us, is that it will send people head over heels.
We got it done. I got one more on the list, and then I'm going to double check my business cards while I'm
Okay.
doing that.
All right.
Our friends, there goes the Facebook feed. Our friends from Tactical Walls were in the house.
Mhm.
They put together a small sim house on site for us to walk through, grab an AR from a tactical wall shelf,
Mhm.
engage targets, check out the coffee table, the end table, and the new thing is the lamp.
Lamp.
The lamp is just it's a lamp, and it's got concealment in plain view. It's real simple, but very cool. And those guys are great. Always good to see them. Make sure you check out Tactical
And not
Walls.
only that, the shoot house. They incorporated the UTM ammunition, ultimate training munitions ammunition, which we were at Big 3 last year this time talking with those guys. So Tactical Walls took their product, put it in a scenario with their equipment in a shoot house, and we were able to go in there and and enter scenarios with where we had to get a rifle out of a shelf and go take care of somebody
Weren't
who
you just
was.
listening? I just went through that whole thing.
he's just reiterating.
It was cool. It was super
rules.
cool, man. The fact of the matter is Big 3 is always super
It was cool.
Every year they seem to do it one notch better.
Yep.
It always amazes me that you can get better than the last one.
Actually,
but,
when we walked
they
in
knock
and
it
all of a
out.
sudden they said it's air conditioned.
Oh yeah.
Their big, huge
Electricity.
facility is air conditioned.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to CJ. Shout out to all the crew. Shout out to the ROs that were there that we got to spend some time with. It was very cool.
Volusia County Sheriff's
Yeah,
Department.
so
Really
very-
enjoyed talking to them.
Very cool to see everybody. Any final
CJ
words?
Schwell.
Real quick, Googler. What did you think about Big 3?
It's awesome.
Pretty neat to be a part of.
Very much so.
Cool, man. Good deal. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you check out guncarrier.com, everydaycarrylife.com for all your everyday carry needs. Check out these guys on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. 2A, Guys in Gear. See, I got it right.
You got it
after all
right.
these years.
Congratulations. Thank you.
He's been practicing in the mirror.
One of them's Brian. The other one's, I don't know their names.
50-50 chance.
It took
It's
me
all
a
good.
minute, right? God, I remember when I first met the guys from Arms List. I was like, Rob? John? Rob. I got it wrong like 6 times.
Just call him buddy. What's up, buddy?
What's up, fellas? Everybody have a great week.
What up, guys?
Be safe out there. Kiss your kids. Give them a big hug.
Mm.
And to my kids, if you watched, love you guys. Miss you.
Stay prepared.
Yep.
We live in a crazy time. Stay
Yep.
prepared.
Thanks to everybody that watched the show. Thanks to Frank and everyone that supported us along the way. Hook yourself up. Go check us out on Gun Carrier. Go check out all the Instagram stuff. We'll talk to you soon. Gun Carrier and American Gun Association for some live stuff tomorrow.
Live,
And
sure.
Definitely a couple videos and
Sure.
some pictures along the way.
Got some great videos out there. Right
Appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Until then, we'll see you next week for episode 240.
240.
Jesus. Talk to you soon. Peace.